truculence bend their minds to the modern Pandora's box that is Bob's Fridge. Please prepare to hold thy gorge and enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome to the Distractable Podcast. Here we discuss anything that interests us and compete to see who can bring the most captivating stories to the table. Whoever brings the best story, as judged by yours truly, will be declared the winner of the podcast and will earn the right to host next week's episode and play the role of a judge. Being as I, killed it last week, I get to host this week, and I am Wade Barnes, joined by my lovely, beautiful co-hosts, Mark Fishbach and Bob Meiskens. Hey guys.
You almost forgot how to say my name, didn't you?
I did.
I can tell.
I was like, Bob.
You really take on a fascinating cadence when you do the intro. I won't criticize it because, it does work, but it's just it's very bouncy.
All right, let me try it again. Here we go.
I don't want you to try it again.
Hey guys, podcast time. I'm Wade, this is Mark and Bob. Let's go.
I hope someday we're hanging out or just doing something really casual and everyone's being normal, and at some point Wade is just whoa guys, hey. He just starts the cadence and everyone is like, wait, why are you reading a script right now?
So let me tell you about this story I experienced last week when I went to the grocery store and had to buy milk.
Who wants to play some beer pong? Let's get the cups ready. Line them up, I'm ready.
House rules, bounces are 2 cups. You can swap, but only on a bounce. Blowing is allowed.
I feel like I'm slowly devolving into game show host version of John Wayne. All right there, pilgrims. Welcome to Distractable.
Do you ever, this just happened, do you ever laugh or talk and the voice that comes out of you scares your own self?
Yes.
My voice is like a little hoarse, and I just laughed, and my whole body was like, whose laugh was that? Whoa, man.
Have you ever felt like a spider wave of saliva in your throat? You go to speak, it blocks your vocals, and you sound like something completely different. You're like, oh. And then you go, oh, but it's still there blocking. You're like, oh, no. You're really scared, and then the bubble pops. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah, no, I have that a lot. But what if it actually is just you're so funny and there's a demon standing
Wait, what?
So we're not even into the episode yet. Have you guys ever heard of you're laying in bed, you're trying to fall asleep? Have you ever heard of voice? Does that happen? Okay.
Sometimes I'll be almost asleep, and then my body is just oh god, I'm awake. It still sounds like me. It's this way you can't.
I won't be able to hear my own. I did not. But I was trying to fall asleep, and I was thinking about my day, obviously we got hit by the semi, but other than that, there's been a few moments where something I should not have seen, I'll just barely dodge, and I'll feel like she pushed my hands to help me turn away from it or something, which is really weird.
No, those are grasping out at you from the beyond. You're coming to me now. Oh, just missed you.
Oh god, she was pulling the other way, oh, die, come back to me.
Oh, I'll get you next time.
Some douchebag uncle that always hated you pops up, and grandma's trying to save you, and the uncle's like, nah, come on, steer him into it, come on.
Yeah, come on.
You want to visit with your grandson, don't you? Come on, I'll bring him to see you.
All of this supernatural discussion has me excited for today's topic, which is delivery.
Oh, right, yeah. Topical.
What a segue.
Delivering you to the beyond as fast as possible. Gotcha, I understand.
We're kind of cheating a little bit today because our topic comes, I feel like it's already kind of a biased topic, but Bob had a heck of an experience and we're so excited. Mark and I were so excited to hear how happy he was about it.
Yeah.
That we had to change our topic last minute.
Yeah.
From a very other good one that we definitely had planned in advance to deliver.
Bob, if you're ready, I will yield my time to you if you want.
Well, so are you going to try and compete with this, Mark, or are we just going to let this happen?
No,
Okay.
I'm going to let that roll. I have something else for it, but I want to hear this.
I still reserve the right to whatever points where I want them.
God, the authority is just leaking out of you.
Hey, I'm in charge and I can stutter my way through a sentence if I want to. This is my episode. Maybe it was my uncle trying to shut me up. He was shoving a ghost sock in my mouth right there.
All right, yeah, I yield my time.
All right. There's a story about a new refrigerator. We got a deal on it. Honestly, we saved $1,000 on it because there was a big sale, and I'm pretty proud of that. But I want to preface this by saying this is a very first world problem. So with all I hear everyone out there thinking like, oh, my new refrigerator didn't go so smooth.
How dare you? I'm listening to this podcast on my iPhone.
Shut up.
And I can't even afford a refrigerator.
Shut your mouth. I know it's a first world problem. So Mandy and I we live in a new house. We recently bought a house, which is very exciting but stressful. And the refrigerator in our house kept things cold. It's gone now. He's dead, so I don't have to talk about it in the present tense. Kept things cold, but it was stanky. He's dead. He got taken away. He's unplugged. He's dead. He's gonna go get crushed up.
Was your refrigerator a person?
I don't know. It's kind of an asshole. So
just like a cadaver that you stored things in.
It's an old man in the back turning a crank. Like, I'll keep your food cold for you. Just let me live back here.
If I'd shower, I wouldn't stink so bad. Let me shower.
That old man in the back is probably why the food that came out of that thing was so freaking stanky. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And like, it's just an old fridge. It's not like, I'm not saying the person lived here before us. But the water that came out of it, the ice, the food, just had a stank. Clearly didn't fix it. The baking soda and the thing didn't fix it. So we got a new one. And like, that's pretty exciting. New fridge is exciting. You know, no one has stored their dog's semen in it before.
That is a very specific qualification.
I'm not saying that I know I've lived in a house with a fridge where there was dog semen stored in it. I'm just saying, if you live in a rental especially, you don't know what was in that fridge before.
You know, he's got a point, man.
Well, I decide that.
Is there any amount of cleaning that makes it okay for you to eat pieces of live meat that fell out of the bag and touch the shelf where once, in years past, a vessel was keeping sad? I don't know if that's
it's like the same equivalent of you have no idea what went on in your hotel bed. Like you have no idea what kind of freaks were in there just before you, what kind of fluids were flinging all over the walls.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Careful what you lick in a hotel room. That's all I'm saying.
You know me, I lick every corner of the room. I have to as soon as I walk into a room.
That's how it feels like home. That's how you adjust. So we're excited about this new fridge.
Yeah, good.
So it was supposed to be delivered 9 days ago, and I bought it like 2 weeks ago now. They took my money happily, and they were like, yeah, we'll give you a fridge. And I was like, okay, and left like an idiot.
Did you get to pick it out, or did they just tell you they'd bring you one?
Yeah, no, I told them which one I wanted, and they were like, sure, silver one, got it.
Oh, okay, good.
We'll send it right over.
Yeah.
So the initial delivery is scheduled. So the guys show up. Honestly, the first guy, well, I spoiled some of it, but the first team that showed up to deliver our refrigerator, they show up and they assess the house. Our front door is real big, but there's a little door that goes in the kitchen that you can't bring the fridge through. So he like looks at the garage, and finally he decides, okay, we got to drag this thing. We have a big back sliding door. We got to drag this thing around the side of the house through the side yard and then in the back door. That's the way it'll fit easiest. And so we have 2 side yards because I'm filthy rich. not a one side yard house. We got 2 whole side yards. And they decide to go through the really narrow one, which becomes an issue later, which we'll get to. And so they go through this whole thing that I don't know what appliances, what happens to them, but they're packed like if outside air touches them, they will combust. What? Appliances are, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a brand new appliance. It comes in a full like plastic wrap, like fully vinyl wrapped. and then there's like foam padding on the corners and above that, and then there's another layer of like strapped on padding or cardboard, and then there's another layer of like a wrapping around that, and then there's a box around that. So when they show up to bring it, it takes them like 10 minutes to get the thing down off the truck and cut the outer layers of packaging off to get it ready to bring it inside. And so they go through this whole thing, and once they decide they're going to bring it through the smaller side yard, the narrow side yard, I look at it and I'm like, I don't think that's going to fit, guys. And he looks at it and he measures it and he's like, no, it'll fit. And I'm standing there and I'm like, I really don't think that's going to fit, but like, this is their job. It's fine. Just do what you're going to do. Which, again, like an idiot, I assumed that they would know how to do their job. And so they start dragging it, they bring it up the driveway, they start trying to get it through the gate. There's like a gate that swings open, and the gate is swung all the way open up against the gas meter. The gas meter is behind the gate, and you hope, like, ideally they'd like slide it right through, it fits, and they keep going, right? They get it up, and it does that thing where they start to move it through, and it just goes, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. And like the delicate parts are all still wrapped, so it's still like padded, but I just see like it's not quite gonna fit. Like it's like an inch too big.
Yeah.
And the guys are there, and they're like, no, it's gonna fit. And it goes from the soft dunk to like they're finagling it. The way it goes through the gate, the back of the fridge is scraped up the whole gate. Each little step they're taking, the fridge on the fence is just like and I'm standing here watching, just like, okay. And like, it finally, it gets through, and I look at it, there's no damage, everything's fine. It was just sort of rubbing on the gate. I think it was fine, but so this is how it starts. And they get it through, they get all the way to the backyard before they're about to bring it inside the house, and I look at the front of it, and there's a huge dent. Oh. It's not huge. Okay, maybe it's a 2-inch-ish around dent. But I look at it, and I'm like, that's a dent. And the guy does that thing where he looks and he's like, oh, it's not a dent. These things are padded. It's fine. So I like touch it. And I'm like, no, dude, that's a dent. It's clearly a dent. And he like licks his thumb and rubs it and like, now that'll buff out.
Oh, perfect. What a method.
And so finally I convinced the dude, I'm like, it's a dent. And he's like, well, do you want us to install it or not? I'm like, no, I don't want a brand new refrigerator I just paid a shit ton of money for to have a dent on it. Like, I want a new one out of the box. I paid a lot of money for this fucking thing. And like, he does that thing that like, and I've totally been there. I've worked jobs like this. He does that, gives me that look when I'm like, no, I don't, take it back. Like, I don't want it. Fix this. He's like, okay, we can fix it. In a more respectful tone, he says whatever he says, but his eyes are saying that, you know. He looks right at me, and his head flops over, and he's just like, yeah, fine, we'll put it back on the truck. Thanks. And man, did they not give a fuck about that fridge once it was damaged. So how it barely fit through the gate the first time, on the way out, they were just like, gosh, look, get it out. Fuck, get out of here. Like, man, I thought they damaged my gate. Like, Jesus. And they got it out. Like, we'll take it back and they'll call you. And they drove off in a huff. And I thought that was that. Now, let me say, this is going to be the end of Act 1. These guys did a great job compared to the second group of